We live here. Let's see. Let's wait until it kicks on YouTube really quick. Let me refresh this.
So nobody's in right now?
Yeah, hold on. I'm refreshing this really quick and make sure we're on. Yep, we're on. All right. Yeah, looking good. Perfect.
If you're on already, it was two doofuses trying to figure out how to get this technology to work.
Exactly.
He's a little better at it than I am. I'm the weight that holds down this crew.
All right, so we got 3 people. We got 3 people as of now, 4 people in now. Y'all make sure y'all comment. Let us know you're here. Hold on, I'm gonna turn the comments on and show the chat. All right, let's see. We do the stream.
Welcome to Skol Live.
Skol Live, baby. So we got
Skol.
Yeah, we got David here, man. Dave, hey, Skol, what's up, Super Will? How you doing tonight? All right, so me and him, we kind of connected. We connected over the internet, obviously. Just started talking. We're gonna build a friendship. We're gonna start doing this for you guys. Coming together, talking Vikings football. Hey, y'all make sure his channel's in the description. So y'all make sure y'all go and subscribe to his channel. If you really want to get knowledge, go subscribe to Minnesota Sports Talk channel. He really breaks down these players and gives you a deep, in-depth, he just lets it be known what's going on with these players to where all of my people that are on my channel, like, hey, McAndrews, you know how I go. I just speak my mind and just freestyle off the top and just, give my opinion. But, hey, we're going to get into it. Dave's going to put us on point about, we're going to talk about Kirk Cousins. We're going to talk about the draft picks, how we feel about, going into the season with the new regime. And, let's get into this. Let's see how many people we got in here now. We got 8 people. We appreciate everybody that's tapping in right now. All right. So first of all, Dave, what we're going to talk about. So let's get to this, because me and you, this is how we really connected everybody. So I did a video asking if Kirk Cousins had to have any pressure on him going into the season, and my people, y'all know how I feel about Kirk. I don't hate the guy. He seems like a great guy, great character, but I just feel like he doesn't take enough blame. So Dave commented on the channel and he wants to know why I feel like that, and I want to know why he feels the way he feels. So the first question we're going to ask Dave is, first of all, how do you feel about Kirk Cousins? What do you like about him? And is there anything you dislike about him?
Well, I think when I commented on your video at that time, it was like, what do you mean he doesn't take any blame? It's like that's all he gets. That's all he gets. I mean, I think there's no doubt everybody knows that Kirk Cousins is a good quarterback. Mm-hmm. He's not a great quarterback. There are some faults to him, and I'll start out with those. I mean, he doesn't throw off script. You won't see him. If let's say you compare him to other NFC North quarterback, Aaron Rodgers. Boo, he sucks.
Right.
Whatever.
Boo, for sure.
Yay, bar. All right. So I'll miss you, man. But I mean, you'll see Aaron Rodgers throw off script, his sidearm throw. Even he's been recently compared to Matt Stafford. Stafford will throw a sidearm throw and he'll make a play, but he'll also throw more interceptions. Obviously, I think he went through 17 this past year and Cousins through 7. So my biggest complaint, I was actually pretty cold on Kirk Cousins during the first year. Well, about mid-season, his first year at 2018. Mainly because I thought he didn't throw the ball away. He just ate it. Right. And I was like, when you watch Tom Brady, he gets rid of the ball quick. If you throw Aaron Rodgers, he gets ball quick. If it's not there, if the play's not there, he gets rid of it. He throws it out of bounds. And I thought the past 2 years, Kirk Cousins actually improved greatly on that. And I also thought he was able to run with the ball a little bit more than he had. Mm-hmm. So I felt like he was doing those things better. Now, what gets me is that anybody who talks about Kirk Cousins talks about, oh, God, we went to the NFC title game in 2017. What about 2018? Well, we had a top defense in 2018, so they have every right to complain about, hey, why didn't we do just as good? Well, they always forget that Tony Sperano died. Are probably one of the best offensive line coaches ever. Dies right before the season. And what do? We make offensive line coaches, which if when you get into later years at Kirk Cousins with the Vikings, you'll find out we have a co-offensive coordinator. This seems to be a pretty common theme with the Vikings.
Yeah.
But Sperano dies, and the PFF grade on the Vikings offensive line that year was 28th. We had the fourth worst rushing attack in the league. We fire John DeFilippo in week 15. The next week, we have 200 yards rushing. The next week, but just to give you an idea how bad our offensive line was and how much miracle Sperano did with our offensive line, our Riley Reef was a 48.6. That isn't even a reserve ranking of PFF.
True.
Left guard Nick Easton, 41.5. Even worse, Pat Elflein, who was pretty decent, right? Well, we thought he was going to be. It was his. You know what? He sucked his whole time. He was
I was going to say.
He was terrible. He's even worse than Bradbury. He's even worse than Bradbury.
That's hard to be worse than Bradbury.
I'm saying Rashad Hill, 43.6. Why have we kept Rashad Hill on this team and not found a swing tackle? I think we may have found him. We're going to talk about this a little bit later.
Yeah.
But Mike Remmers was our best offensive lineman with a 69.6, which is like borderline starter grade in PFF. He's a starter grade in PFF. That was our offensive line in 2019. We had our coach die. We had our offensive line go to absolute crap. Our DeFilippo was just water and vinegar with Zimmer, and he was constantly telling me, "You need to run the ball. You need to run the ball." So I mean, and we'll talk about Zimmer later, I think, but that's where we started with, and not many people remember that Cousins had 2 400-yard games in like the first 4 games of the season. Yeah. And then right before DeFilippo got fired, we had like 4 straight games where we didn't even have 300 yards offense. So something went wrong in that season. And, I think we started out 1-2-1. That Rams game on Monday Night Football was amazing. Cousins just lit it up. He threw 4 touchdowns against Green Bay with 440 yards earlier in the season. So he had a lot going for him. Now, 2019, we made the playoffs with the Saints and won on the road, right? It was a road game, right?
Yep, it was. Yep. Overtime.
Thielen only started and played like 8 total game, like full games, then 2 like half games. And he got hurt on that touchdown pass where he, into the end zone, and the back of the end zone, hit the wall, slid into the wall, hurt his hamstring, made it back for the playoff game. And we won that game. Now, what would have happened if Thielen played the whole 16 games? Because in 2018, Thielen and Diggs were 1,000. I think that was the first time we had 1,000-yard receivers since you became a fan of them back in '99. So, I mean, 98, 99 with like
99, yep.
With like when you had Moss and Carter.
Yep.
So, I mean, that season we went from a top 5 defense to a top 15 defense. So what if we what if we had a completely healthy team and we kept the same defense? We go into that home field advantage. We go into the playoffs home field advantage, and we're not playing at San Francisco, getting drilled. So I think now the last 2 years were just absolute horrible. But I could not tell you that it was Kirk Cousins' fault on these last 2 seasons.
Yeah,
he actually improved each year since he's been a Viking. 2020, we didn't have home field. There was no home field advantage at all because of COVID.
Right.
You go look at our team's attendance, 0. The entire season is 0. No, we had no fans in there, no home field advantage. And and we started out the season not starting Justin Jefferson. BC Johnson was our second receiver.
Which is crazy.
we looked horrible, and I was and I'm sure every Viking fan was, including myself, was yelling at Kirk Cousins and poking a stick at him to do more.
Yeah.
But what happened when we started Justin Jefferson? Took off, but our defense was so horrible.
It was.
That, and then 2021, a lot of defensive injuries. I had a lot of hopes for our defense in 2021, but again, 2 years in a row with injuries. Daniil Hunter, we lose Irv Smith Jr. before the season. He was looking great in preseason.
Yeah, he was.
I'm going to tell you, Zimmer, with his run at all costs mandate, like we're losing, like if we're losing, like there's a couple of games where we're losing pretty early, and he goes in the halftime. He has his interview and he goes, "We need to run the ball more." No, it wasn't working. You need to switch gears and start throwing the ball, because in previous games, there's been games where we came out hot. We go up 2-3 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
What happens? We come out the second half. Oh, run the ball. Oh, now we're tied or losing. Oh, now we have to have Cousins come back. And you can admit this. Last year, 4 games in there. I think we should, like, I think the Lions. We can't lose the Lions. We should have been. We should have.
That was the most heartbreaking game last year. Was definitely that Lions loss.
I mean, 96 yards to Goff.
I mean,
Goff
come
took 96 yards in the game with no time remaining.
Well, I'm going to tell you, Dave, I was at the Carolina game. Me and my wife, we went to the Carolina game when we won that game in overtime. And we let Sam Darnold come back and do a drive similar to that. And it was
off
just
the gas, man. We took our foot off the gas. Baltimore took our foot off the gas. And it was because we need to come out here and reserve, eat up the clock and get this game over. No, these are NFL offenses, man.
Right now, Arizona was on. That was definitely Greg Joseph, though, right? Wasn't that the game where he just missed, or was that?
What? So, I thought Arizona was the fumble, and which one was the fumble?
No, that was Cincinnati. Cincinnati was the fumble. That was week 1 where that
So we had the Cardinals. We had 37-yard field goal and we missed it.
Right.
So there was, and we could even won more, but that would have gave us 12 wins, because no one can say that. Hey, those are games we should have won. Cowboys, we were playing like dog the whole game, but we were still winning.
Yeah.
But what, you're trying to hold on to a lead? I don't know. Zimmer would be so predictable that I was sitting in the sports bar with my the fan club, and I'm going, we're gonna run it here. And he go, how do you know that? I said, well, every time we pass on first down, regardless of the outcome, we run it on second down.
Right.
And it was only one time that I would say that it didn't happen, and I would just laugh. I was like, if we ran it just to be different, we'd pass on first down.
Yeah.
We might get it. It might happen. We might get some yardage, and then the next down we run it no matter what. So if we miss if we don't complete that first pass, we're still running it, and the other team knows it, and they stack the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
We go -2 yards, and you've heard that stat where we had the longest. We had the least success on third down in any team in the league this year, right?
I did, yeah.
It's Cousins' fault. It's Cousins' fault. Well, we also had the longest distance on third down of any team in the league.
Yeah.
So, I mean, though it had a lot to do with what we were doing, play calling, and being predictable.
So that leads into this. So then how did you feel about, Clint Kubiak, Zimmer kind of just saying, all right, well, here you go, Clint. Here's the keys to the offense. And, let's see if you can make it happen, instead of actually going out and finding somebody that's legit that maybe could have got us over that hump last year.
I think Zimmer wanted him because he could control him.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the feeling I was getting too, like more of a babysit. He wants to make sure he can babysit him and kind of tell him what to do and when to do it, But I feel like we should have went. I feel like we definitely should have, played the market when it came to an offensive coordinator last year.
Same way with defensive coordinator.
And defensive coordinator
when
too.
you have your team calling their defensive coordinator Little Zim,
Yeah.
you know something's wrong. When nepotism takes over,
Yeah.
we had 3 father-son duos on our team in 2020,
I'm
and
telling
then one
you.
retires, and we have just 2, but we still have the son. So Kubiak. Now I thought we were better with the Kubiak Senior, and because Zimmer trusted him because of dude won Super Bowls. What is he going to
for
tell him?
sure. Yeah,
What
yeah.
is he going to tell him? Oh yeah,
And I think that's why they butted
play.
heads. I think that's why they butted heads at a point in time, because Mike knew he couldn't sit there and just boss him around as much, and he had to kind of sit back and listen at times. Like, let me run the offense, But hey, at the end of the day, so this is the thing. So Kirk Cousins is what? I think it's 59-2. Right. I think that's his career record, 59-2. So pretty much right in the middle.
Yeah, I think it's 500 exactly.
Yeah, you might as well say it's 500 exactly. So a lot of people ask, and me included, just saying like, okay, you have other quarterbacks like Joe Burrow, for example, coming out this year. Everything around you in the NFL can't be perfect, and sometimes you have to overcome, diversity, because things are gonna get rough out there, whether it's the coaching or you're just playing an elite defense. But my thing with Kirk Cousins, this is the main thing that I just don't see in him, and I think it's more of a character thing. Like, he just doesn't have that clutch gene to say, hey, you know what? We got to go down. We're down 3, or just say we're down 2. Let's just say we're down 2. We need to get down there to kick a field goal. It seems like he's not willing to take on that challenge. I mean, now he does have some clutch plays, and I know his stats show that he's closed out some games recently, but yeah, I mean, I just feel like when it matters the most, though, he always lets us down. I don't know why. It just feels like that. It just feels like he always lets us down.
I think you recognize that this past year, I forget what the stat was of how many comeback go-ahead touchdowns he had in the fourth quarter, just to have our defense go FU.
Right, right.
Because if you've also heard that stat that we allowed touchdowns in the final 2 minutes of each half, 32% of the time.
Yeah, we had the worst. Didn't we have the worst? We were like the last
10%. By 10%, the next worst was 22, and since 2010 or something, that we were like 489th or something out of like 489th, meaning every single team in all 32 teams each year had a better percentage of not giving up touchdowns than we did last year. It was like a snowball of what the F is going on with Zimmer's time management. It was bad. It was bad. And I think what happened, now I agree that first 3 years and that was one of my bigger struggles with Cousins. Like early on, is because when we would get the ball somehow at the end of the game and it would be 2 and a pick.
Right.
And he couldn't get down the field. That was not the case last year. Right. So you saw it, I saw it. He was able to go down, drive, and we made plays. And I think it had a lot to do with him saying, hey, and you're right. He didn't have the it quality that, that was bred into him. Right. But if you remember for the first Detroit game where it looked like he was going to fight Zimmer.
Yeah.
And he goes, you like that? He's just shaking him like that. Yeah. Screaming at him, and Zimmer punches him in the chest.
Yeah. That was a big thing for like a week after that.
And then Peterson comes over and just gets in the middle of him, thinking this is a fight.
Yeah.
And I think that was telling Zimmer, see what I can do if you just give me a chance. And I think he flipped a switch. I think this past season he flipped a switch.
Yeah.
It's just the time management, coaching decisions, play calling.
Well, that's crazy. I never thought about it like that, with that situation, like Kurt expressing that, saying, hey, let me do my thing, because I got this. Now, one thing I can say is I am excited about this year. Now, there was a point in time, Dave, when, you know, we all know Deshaun Watson was available. I mean, pretty much every team was saying, hey, he's going to come here. We got a chance at him. So let me ask you, let's just say Deshaun hasn't signed yet and he was on the table and we were the front runners. Would you rather have him over Kirk Cousins, or would you rather just stick with Kirk?
Well, there's a duality there of the player or the person.
Right.
That
yeah. Well, me and you have an understanding too how we feel about a certain player as well. That, you know, we picked up this year.
I think we agree on our offensive guard too. But we, as YouTubers, we're staying out of the out of it. And you know, what is proven in court and what is accusation. You got to just you know, you just got to leave it at that.
Yeah.
Not none of this. You know, so Deshaun. You said Deshaun Watson, right?
Yeah, Deshaun Watson. Yep.
So I have to distinguish the player or the person. If we take him, is it decided whether or not he's free to play this year?
Right.
So we're in a win now, and we've gone this off season. Forget that competitive build or rebuild that Kwesi likes to call it. No, they're playing this off season to win now.
I know that's right.
Are we going to win now when we had no backup? Oh, well, we had Kellen Mond. So are we going to go on the season with, Kellen Mond playing half the games? So right. I did not think Kwesi would come in, say, hey, we're going to build on character, and then we're going to take Deshaun Watson. Oh, and he has a worse record than Kirk Cousins does.
Yeah.
People don't realize this. The last time he played, he won 5 games.
Right. Yep.
So, they complain about Cousins being this stat pusher, and all he cares about is stats. And I don't know, I haven't heard you exactly say that, but I'm sure it's come across your mind. But it only happens. Well, this past season he didn't have any garbage time because 14 out of 16 games I think were decided by one score.
They were really close. Yep.
And one score or less. So every time it mattered with Kirk this year.
Right.
But talking about stat pushers, when I did my fantasy draft, I tried to draft Deshaun Watson every year because he's such a good athlete. I think his college coach, I don't know who it was, but I remember the quote. He says, if you pass on Deshaun Watson, you're passing on Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
And, well, I think he played for Carolina, didn't he?
No, he played for Clemson. He played for Clemson.
Okay, I get confused. He's South Carolina. So
yeah.
So he played for Clemson, and
what's his name? Dabo. I think Dabo Swinney.
Was his Dabo his coach at the time? Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
Dabo Swinney.
Well, if you're Pat, and he is really, he likes to hype up his players,
right?
But he's a good players coach, so I can see him saying that. But yeah, if you're passing on Deshaun Watson, you're passing on Michael Jordan. So I didn't want him for the fact that I didn't want him to be a distraction, and then I have to hear about everything going forward the next 4 or 5 years. And you want to talk about Cousins getting paid too much?
Yeah.
I mean,
I seen that contract. Wow, that contract was huge.
Some of the seasons break 50 million, right? Like the cap hit.
Yeah.
You're gonna complain about Cousins being a cap hit, complain about Cousins being a stat pusher, and not having a winning record.
Yeah.
This is on steroids.
All right, so we'll leave it at this with Cousins. I'm just gonna give so I don't hate, like I said before Dave explained all the things and gave us all the knowledge about Cousins, and hopefully you guys appreciated that and took it in and you get understanding. I don't hate Kirk Cousins. Like I said before, I'm gonna ride with him. He's our quarterback, and no matter who's our quarterback, I'm gonna ride behind him because I'm a true Viking fan, and that's for sure. I hope he does good this year, and I know he can. I know he has the arm talent to be a great quarterback. I just don't want to feel like he's just the unluckiest guy in the NFL this year. Hopefully he takes that step this year and we make something happen. I just don't want him because I'm sure, Dave, you probably watched the podcast on Purple Daily. You watch those fellas, Judd and all.
Yes.
I mean, they're known. they're known
like
for
3 or
like
4 shows.
hating. Yeah, they're known for like hating Kirk Cousins. But I gotta say, there's a lot of points that I really agree with, because a lot of times they say, you know, is he just the most unluckiest quarterback in the NFL? And sometimes I sit back and have to ask myself that question as well. But you know what? Hey, we riding with Kirk Cousins. We hope he does good this year. We're gonna leave it at that. All right.
There is that. I don't know what the exact stat was, but you know they talk about his primetime win-loss record, including Monday Night Football, and I think his defense is average. The defense that he on every time he played on like a primetime game was averaging giving up 28 points a game.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's a lot. So when you watch those guys on KFan or whatever, Score North.
Yeah, Score North. Yep.
They'll bring up some god awful stat about Kirk Cousins, but
Yeah.
won't tell you any of the good ones.
Yeah, that's true. That's
They
true.
like ignore anything that's a positive, and
That's
they're
true.
honest. They're even worse on Twitter.
Yeah, see, I need to get on my Twitter game.
Down on Twitter.
I need to follow more on Twitter. I need to get my Twitter game up. All right, so now let's get into the draft, and let's first of all let's talk about how we feel. You know, we go into the draft with the 12th pick. All right, we got the 12th pick. I went live on the draft. You know, there's people in the room watching, and I'm sure if y'all were here, like Mick Andrews, I know you were in the room with me that night, and we were at pick 11. We're getting excited. We have Kyle Hamilton on the board. We have, I think Jordan Davis was on the board at the time too. And we're sitting there and we're thinking like, hey, we're about to get our guy. You know what I mean? And then the trade happens, right? So now y'all know how I felt about it. I had a video ranting. I was honestly like, I lost sleep over it because I just didn't understand why, for one, we were trading within our division. And then we traded back all the way to 32 to get a safety, which isn't really normal, honestly, to go for a safety like that. You know, I can see if we were going for like if there was a quarterback or something, or a wide receiver or something like that. But you know, safeties, it's rare for people to just, you know, try to maneuver around and get them in the first round. But how'd you feel about that when that happened that night?
Here's a funny thing. You know, the Score North. I was watching. Oh, so
hold on, I'm coming.
Yeah, you got to turn your camera back. Got a trick camera. It must be at the 30-minute mark. So he's turning on his camera.
There you go. Let's
we got
go.
A trick camera. It fails at 30 minutes.
It fails at 30 minutes. It won't let me go past 30 minutes. I don't know what's going on.
So if you want a Venmo,
yeah. If you want a Venmo, you know, Cash App, so we can buy a camera that shoots longer than 30 minutes. We'd be all right.
So here's a funny thing. I have like several different draft shows on, and I happen to have Mackie and Judd, you know, the Score North guys on, and oh my God, was it chaos when they made that trade and said it was 32 to the Lions.
Yeah.
The crowd went nuts. They had their vent line thing going on where they got to go up to the mic, and they're outside. It's cold as hell.
Yeah, they were at a bar. Weren't they at like some bar or something? Yeah.
Yeah, they do their commercial. They were being sponsored by their beer or whatever, that Furious or whatever. Yeah. So everybody was coming up going, "What are we doing?" And they were like, and then Mackie gets up there and he says, you know, "Hey, we just traded 32." And then when they get all the way to 32 pick, how do you guys feel that with the 32nd overall, he's announcing it for the first time, that we took a safety named Lewis Cine. Yeah. And like me, so my reaction at 12, I did, and you might have watched one of my videos where I talk about, I did like who we could possibly get at 12. And I did Kyle Hamilton.
Yep.
I did Jordan Davis.
I seen that.
I did receivers, and I said my number one guy was Jameson Williams.
I'm telling you.
And O'Connell said we were really looking at Jameson Williams too. We really liked him.
Right.
So, and I thought, oh my God, let's just build a strength. We got Justin Jefferson with a huge, you know, after year 3, he can hold out for a new contract. And Diggs got $25 million.
I'm telling you.
Christian Kirk got 20.
Wow.
Oh my God. So now we're going to have a quarterback with 40 million and a receiver with 25, 30 million. So, and then in Thielen, long in the tooth, the $19 million cap hit, we're going to have what? 70, Jesus, $80 million with 3 players. So I thought, well, Jameson Williams, right? But again, I was a little, because of his injury, I was a little worried about it. So what happens? Pick 12, 13, and 14 was Kyle Hamilton, Jameson Williams. Then I think it was Jordan Davis, and then Baltimore takes Kyle Hamilton.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the 3 next picks. I'm like, oh my God. So if I thought we were going to trade, and the reason why I did those videos is like, hey, if we don't stay here, because I thought we would trade down, that came to be, but I never thought we would trade down to 32. And I think it was the gods laughing at me, because on several videos I would make fun of the Lions trading off Matthew Stafford, getting a first round pick for him, and then that team winning the Super Bowl to where they picked 32nd instead of somewhere in the teens. So my reaction was like, what the F are we doing? What? And we traded the Lions. Oh, and they're going to get Jameson Williams or Williams, right?
Yeah.
And,
Jameson Williams. Yep.
Jameson Williams. And I'm like, oh my God, what happened? But post draft, when I looked into who Lewis Cine was,
right.
And then when I looked into, and here's what I was thinking is that we would trade down, and my third cornerback was Andrew Booth Jr. That was my third cornerback, and I thought we can take him in the 20s and it'll be great. When we went down to 32, and I'm like, oh, we're 32, and Andrew Booth Jr. is still there. Why? And we didn't take him. I'm like, oh my God. Okay, we can still take him to 34, because I don't think the Tampa Bay was going to take him at 33, and then we trade out of 34. And I wanted to kill Kwesi, but it was a good trade. We got 2 second-round picks.
Yeah.
And and people say, hey, we allowed the Packers to come up and get their wide receiver. And I'm like, settle down, guys. He's going to hunt us for a decade. Settle down, guys. He was in the Summit League.
Yeah, I wasn't worried about him. Yeah, you talking about North Dakota State guy?
No, he's good, but he's playing against Summit League talent.
Right.
And I'm also saying, why don't you look at it this way? They just gave us Andrew Booth Jr. and solved our offensive guard problem.
Yep.
So that's my take on that first round draft pick. I was pissed like everybody else. Yeah. And now I had to wait till 32, and you take someone I don't even know who it is.
Yeah. So I was
looking
upset
at safeties.
Too. Yeah, I was upset. I wasn't looking at now. There was
other than Kyle Hamilton. Other than Kyle Hamilton, I didn't think he would address safety until like the 5th round or something.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, there was a name that I really liked, and I was looking into, all this pre-draft stuff, and my guy was Jalen Petrie out of Baylor. I really like Jalen Petrie. He just seemed like he was, real aggressive safety, went up, played the ball. He can play in the nickel too, like cornerback, kind of like Cameron Bynum was, being able to do both. That's who I wanted. I was even at like, after we picked Cine and it was 32, I was like, man, I would have been happier if we would have got Jalen Petrie at pick 32, even though he was projected to be like a 2nd or 3rd rounder. But you know what? Same thing like you. Once I looked into it, I slept on it, went and did some research. I mean, everybody on Georgia, they asked the guys, hey, if you can bring one person with you, who you bringing with you that's on your team now? And everybody vouched for Lewis Cine. I mean, I watched his interviews. This kid is intelligent, well-spoken. I mean, and he wants to get on the field, put pads on, and be mean to the opposing team, and that's what we need in that safety position for sure.
I think in his press conference he talked about he loved to be able to do violence that he'd be arrested for in the real world.
Exactly.
But one of the things I looked at is like, he's not a headhunter.
Right.
He does hit people legally.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think he's going to transition well. And as you know, Harrison Smith got earlier in his career, he'd get kicked out of games.
Yeah.
The worst possible time too. And and the good thing about this is that, I mean, Harrison Smith is going to be 30. There's going to be 33 or 34.
Yeah, they still, and it's crazy because of that happening early in Harrison Smith's career. They still kind of hold it against him to this day.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, didn't he get kicked out of a game this past season? Like, didn't they disqualify him?
I know he's got.
It was either this or it was 2020. I know there was a game where they kind of he went in and they helmet to helmet or whatever.
He had I mean, he had a bad rep with the refs. They were
Yeah.
toss you out of a game. Are you serious?
Yeah. I believe Harrison Smith definitely doesn't do things like that intentional, man. He's a
he's
smart
a clean
football player. Yeah, he's
a
clean
player. Now, who was our other safety we used to have?
Andrew Sandejo.
Now he was dirty.
Yeah,
he was a little dirty.
I already knew who you were talking about.
His t-shirt. He wore that t-shirt or hat or something that said
something violent, make football violent again.
Make football violent again.
Yeah, for sure.
He was getting fined.
Yeah, I think I heard something where he actually, if I'm not mistaken, there was something that I think I heard something through the grapevine where he actually vouched for Lewis Cine in some kind of podcast or something.
I think you're right. I remember coming.
For some reason, I'm putting their two names together, and I'm I was listening to something.
I think there was a connection there or something. I can't put my finger on it, so I can't talk to it.
Yeah. All right, so now we got the Cine thing out the way. We're all happy now with that. We feel like it's going to be a good pick. I mean, one more question about him. Do you think he's going to be starting, week 1?
I think if you consider a starter, like first guy on the field when we're on playing defense, it all depends on what package we're in.
Right. Okay.
I think he'd be more apt to start because it'd be a running down.
Right.
And I think he's got that ability over Bynum. Bynum's going to be a great cover safety.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to be in the box like Lewis Cine. I think when Bynum started when Wood was out, Wood actually played pretty good early on in the season. Is it Woods or Wood? Woods.
Xavier Woods. Yeah, Xavier Woods. I couldn't stand. Listen, before you get into detail, Dave, that guy right there would, excuse my language, piss me off, man. I'm telling you right now.
It was like a magnifying glass because he got like burned on a play like 2 weeks in a row, and then everybody thought he was crap. But he played pretty solid down the stretch, like some other players.
He played good in Dallas.
Like Barr, when he got healthy again, he played better. But Bynum, when he was able to prove himself, and that made us felt more comfortable with him going into this season.
Right.
But we still said, hey, let's get Lewis Cine. And, he's got the size, he's got the speed. He's, not the 220-pound size, but 6, he can cover a tight end. 6'2", he can, and his physical abilities are off the charts. His speed, if Harrison Smith ran a 4.59 or a 4.57 coming out of college, Lewis Cine ran like a 4.37. And he plays like Harrison Smith.
Yeah,
and Harrison Smith was the first rounder too.
Right.
So we value safety more than other people, I guess.
Yeah, we do. Hey, well, if he turns out anything like Harrison Smith, and maybe a notch better if he can, because Harrison Smith, those are hard shoes to fill. I'm going to tell you that right now, because when Harrison Smith leaves eventually, those are some hard shoes to fill at safety, because he's done us really well the past. I don't know how many years he's been in the league now. What, 10, maybe 11? Was it 10, maybe? Something up in that area, I guess.
I think it's 10, yeah.
Yeah, he's been around long enough. And, like I said, hey, Lewis Cine seems like a great guy. And I got confidence.
2012. I want to say he was a rookie.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
During the 2,000-yard season. Mm-hmm. I want to say that. But.
All right, so let's just skip down, and we got all right, so Ed Ingram. Now we all Vikings fans on here watching. First of all, we appreciate everybody watching. We got 12 people watching. Appreciate all y'all tapping in with us.
Make sure y'all Minnesota Sports Talk. Sports Talk, David Shelsky.
Go follow Dave, man. If you want in-depth breakdowns of players that we drafted, go back and watch his videos. Just if you really want to
go to Locked On Sports, go to Minnesota Sports Talk.
Exactly. Definitely. And then y'all come to me when y'all just want to BS, you know what I mean? And we just talk crazy, all right?
I want to feel the passion.
Yeah. But let's get on Ed Ingram. So we all know as Minnesota defense that, this offensive line has just been, I mean, it's like we just can't get it right? So there's certain positions. What is it? The guard position we can't get right, or is it the tackle? Or is it both? Yeah,
well,
I'm gonna say.
I think we undervalued our who was it? Riley Reef.
Yeah.
When he got healthy and he started playing pretty good, but he was starting in the 30s, which is funny. I was raised in a town called Springfield, South Dakota, and I had South Dakota 25 years of my life. Riley Reef was from Parkson, South Dakota, so he was a South Dakota boy. So we like South Dakota boys. And so was Ben Lieber. He played at Vermilion. He played at Vermilion High School in South Dakota. So we got this little South Dakota connection.
Right.
Riley Reef, we had a good situation at left tackle for a while. We were really struggling at right tackle. Now O'Neal, who is a left tackle, and we could have easily just switched him over to left tackle, not drafted Darisaw, moved and did it that way and moved our left guard to right tackle. And I think we would have been fine. And then we could have used that draft capital somewhere else.
Yeah.
But why not? Depth is a huge issue with our offensive line. So, hey, let's put Darisaw. He's an outstanding talent. Spielman lucked out.
Yeah.
On being able to get him. Like he lucked out with Justin Jefferson
because
he should have been gone. Thank you, Eagles.
Thank you, Eagles. That's going to haunt them for the rest of their life.
That's payback for you winning the Super Bowl.
Exactly. I'm telling you.
But a guard and center have been the biggest struggle for us. And it's been, we had maybe one guard that, position that was solid, but our center and our right guard position was just struggling.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we all know. So this is the thing with the center position, right? And listen, Bradbury, like for one, he's a bust at this point. And there's people out there. Let's not argue about this. This guy gets forklift over and over again. Now he does have certain good tendencies.
Pass defense, horrible.
Yes.
Run defense,
he's okay.
Defense. Blocking.
Right, run blocking. I give him a decent grade run. He knows he's athletic. He can swing. He can swing and knock somebody down. But when it comes, we need pass blocking. No, that's the thing. When we have Kirk Cousins. See, this is the thing. And going back to Kirk Cousins for 1 second, we need pass blockers. That's more important at this moment. We need Kirk to be able to be the best he can be. And like I have in videos where I say we need insurance. Okay, we don't need. We need full coverage, not liability. So that's why I say, so Dave, really quick, JC Tretter's out there. Do you make the call or what?
I'm worried about his injury and his age. This might be his next payday. I think other teams are thinking the same thing too.
Right.
So people are holding out until they see what they have and the OTAs and everything. And he may stick around until the preseason starts except for the fact of what they did in the offseason, got so many guards, but with that potentially could play center,
right?
And the fact that they drafted Ingram, that I was thinking, this is what we need to do, because we could still work on two or three contracts to make it easily to sign them for like 10 million. I don't think our mark is at 10 million with him. And right. I think his mark is in the 12 or higher range. And I don't think teams want to pay that at his age. And the fact that came out that he didn't practice. Are we talking about practice, Allen Iverson? No, but if he's not practicing, but he's still high level on game day, right? He's high level on game day.
Yeah.
But you got a new coach, and you're gonna replace Bradbury. You guys did give a number 1 pick to, so
what's up? Really? Sorry, Dave. I don't mean to cut you off. Really quick. What's up, Al? Man, appreciate you tapping in really quick.
Hi, Al. Nice to meet you.
Hey, he's so what he does, he bass
fishes.
This guy? He bass fishes. So hey, look, he goes out and he catches big fish. If y'all are interested in bass fishing, Go watch him. Go watch his channel. Make sure y'all subscribe. Watch the boy. He be putting in the work. You know what I'm saying? But hey, we're going to get back to this. Hey, so 6-Shooter Nation, Dave, he said that Treader would be an immediate upgrade. You know,
100%.
Are you able to see the comments? Are you able to see the pinned comments?
No, I'm not. So I'm flying blind here. They could be calling me names I wouldn't know. But he would be immediately an upgrade. Yeah. Now, the issue we're having, we've already leveraged a lot of our future. Although I think we're 20 million. I don't know the exact number. We were 20 million under the cap for next year. But with Justin Jefferson coming up, do we really want to leverage our future by extending? I forget who the 2 players we could still extend, but are we wanting to, extend those and have bigger cap hits and have void years hanging over our head, and then sign a center that has an injury problem? It has an injury issue going on. Mm-hmm. I think we still might get him, but I don't think I think it's for a lower price than. I think Kwesi's looking at. It doesn't want to leverage the future too much. Yeah, mm-hmm. I think I'm being realistic, but the fan in me says sign him, kick Bradbury to the curve, and then let's go. Skol. Yeah. Let's Skol.
Let's Skol for sure. We got to. Hey, look. I'm all on getting Bradbury. I'm all on getting Bradbury out of there. Whatever we got to do, Vikings fans, we got to get him out of there.
Some reason O'Connell and Kwesi are still thinking.
I see it, and it's crazy because the OTAs, they said that he was still out there, being the guy to be the center.
And O'Connell in the press conference said that we had early on, and when he got the job, said we had four positions solidified, and we knew the position that was right guard, not center. So he said that early on. I don't know what he feels like it now, but that's the way they played it this entire offseason, is that Bradbury's our starting center. So I'm being realistic.
They can't.
Being realistic, but a fan in me, and I know they're looking at him. There was reports, I forget who, if it's Schefter or the guy from Pioneer Press, Tomlinson, said that the Vikings are considering it. I think K-Fan guys were saying it. They're because they have some. I watch them, even though they just hate on Cousins like every show.
Right. Yeah.
Every show is a new angle on how to hate on Cousins. I do like the fact that they occasionally bring in some, information that I wouldn't normally get. Right.
Right. So. Yeah. Hey, we're having a good time. We appreciate everybody that's tuned in, everybody that's been commenting. Hey, if y'all watching, make sure y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe. Make sure y'all go to Dave's channel, subscribe if you want really good Vikings content. There you go.
Sports Talk.
Minnesota Sports Talk. Type it in. It's in the description. Y'all just go to the description and subscribe to his channel as well. You can
open up another tab, open up YouTube on that tab, and then go look for me and then click like.
There you go.
We'll take a timeout for you guys to go do that.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
For sure, right? Yeah. All right. So we just talked about Bradbury, and we pretty much, incorporated Ed Ingram in there, kind of, what we expect from him. Okay. So now let's just go through out of the whole draft, all the players that we picked. Who's your favorite? Who's the guy that you think was the steal of the draft, and why was he the steal of the draft? Who's going to be that guy this year?
So I had 3 guys that I thought were this. Now, not the steal of the draft, right? Like not all 32 teams.
Just like our personal steal.
I think the Jets might have got the. I think the Jets. It was the Jets that got 3 picks in the first round.
Well, definitely the Jets probably had the best draft. Yeah.
But the steals that there was 3 players, but if I have to pick one, but I'll at least name the 3. Right. Was Andrew Booth Jr. I thought he was mid-20s pick. We got him at 42. I thought, and I go a little deeper. I think Ty Chandler is going to be our starting running back in maybe even 2 years.
Wow, really?
I do.
Wow.
He was stuck in a bad situation in Tennessee where they did a running back by committee. He goes to Carolina, and at Carolina, I think Sam Howell's his quarterback, right? So I mean, this is a pass. They pass more. They're a passing team, but you could see, you just see his running ability. where he reads the blocks, he reacts to them. He's fast as hell. I think he runs a 4.37. He can catch out of the backfield. He has one of those Odell Beckham catches.
Yeah.
You go look at his highlight reel. Have you seen his highlight reel?
Yeah, I seen that. I seen that interception. The interception you talking about with Booth, or are you talking about
No, so we're talking about Ty Chandler now.
Well, you know, Booth has one of those.
Booth has that too, right? Yeah, it was his left hand. Yeah, so that's why I like the main thing I like about Booth is that he has no regard for his body, just like Lewis Cine. So he can play the run. He comes out of nowhere before that blocker's head turns around. Both Lewis Cine and him are like that. So I think because of the disparity of where he got picked, because there's a big difference between 22 and 42 in talent in the NFL. If I think he could have picked at 20, then him dropping to 42, I feel is a steal.
Right.
I think Ty Chandler, and if people valued running backs, and he had more of a body of work because he got screwed over in Tennessee, and he had a couple seasons like that, they would have looked at him completely different, and he would win higher. But in this draft, when was the first running back to go? It wasn't the first round, but I can't remember, but it was like late second, I think.
Yeah, it was late second. I think the guy, what was it, from Iowa? I think the Jets got the guy from what was it, Iowa State?
They're getting everybody.
Yeah.
But so I think in a different draft, but the guy that I think is a steal of the draft for us is Jalen Naylor in the 6th round.
So there's a comment on here, Dave, since you can't see him, that I pinned, and you know, from Six Shooter Nation, said the defensive end from the Gophers, and then he also said the speedy receiver from Michigan State, who you're talking about right now, Jalen.
Yeah. Oh, let me talk about was it Otu Mehu?
Yeah.
Because in his pronunciation, it's WHO at the end. I'm like, this makes it so hard to say.
Yeah.
He's perfect for a 3-4 defensive end. Okay. And I think, and if you watch his tape, I think they played a lot of 4-3, and he would move into tackle, kind of like Everson Griffin did. Not this past season, but the last stint, his last year before he left and then came back. We would move him late in the season. We moved him to tackle on passing downs, and they would do that with him, and he could show that he could do that. So I think where he fits in is he would be defensive end in a 3-4 run defense if he can prove himself, and he's got every opportunity because we have a lot of guys that are not like, oh my God, we need to start him. So he's gonna have every opportunity, and I think he'll if he can show that he can play defense against the run, which I think that's his strength at Minnesota, then he's going to be able to play early downs in a base 3-4. And I think on a 3-4, in a 3-4 on passing downs, he could play that nose tackle position to get a pass rush. He's not an explosive player, but what he does have is long ass arms. This guy's a long dude. He gets into their body first, but the only thing he's got for a pass rush is a swim move and a spin.
Yeah.
And I think they could coach on that, but Jalen Naylor.
Yeah. So so before you get deep into it with Jalen, hold on, Dave. Let me turn my camera on and off just so I can catch it before it even cuts off. Hold on.
We must be running long here. We're having fun though. So if you don't know, his camera has a 30-second and it craps out. So I think we're gonna do a GoFundMe page for his.
Boom, we're refueled.
I was telling him about your GoFundMe page for your camera.
We got a GoFundMe for the Nikon D5300. Yeah, we need some GoFundMe, guys. Hey, please.
Dude, we're new YouTubers. We don't have that K-fan money yet.
We don't. Hey, my Cash app is in the bio. Go send me something for my new camera.
I don't even have a Cash. Well, I do, but I haven't put it on there. I
just put it in the bio just in case anybody's feeling generous.
The purple FTW guy, he does that.
Oh yeah, the Venmo. Put money in the Venmo.
Yeah.
I like him. I like him. I think his name's Andy. I appreciate him. He has a really entertaining show.
You tell me about Jalen Naylor, and let's do it this way. You tell me about Jalen Naylor or what you think of him.
Okay, so Jalen Naylor, when we drafted Jalen Naylor, it kind of it hit me by surprise. I didn't know anything about him. I didn't know who he was. So this is my thing. I'm more the type of guy where, unlike you, Dave, you dig deep and really figure out, why we drafted, and you find the good things like hand size and all of this good stuff. Go deep into detail. Me, I look at.
I go Kenny Pickett on him.
Hey, I'm telling you, you go Kenny Pickett on him. I mean, good thing we didn't draft Kenny Pickett because you would have been shaming his hand size.
Oh my God.
Going over that.
So I bring up the fact that, remember, they used to complain about Dante Culpepper fumbling all the time because of his hand size.
Yeah.
He has much bigger hands than Kenny Pickett.
Oh, wow.
8.5-inch hands. For a quarterback, that'd be the smallest ever of anybody ever drafted at court. So I want to go see his, after this is over, I'm going to look at his spider chart and look at his percentile at every, they do it every player drafted since 87.
Right.
I don't know why 87, but they do that every, and I want to see someone in 0 percentile. That might be Kenny Pickett's hand size. But
hey, look,
he's
I'm
a good
excited.
quarterback.
I have a good friend, one of my best friends, actually, that I work with. That's a diehard Steelers
this
fan.
Makes my hands look big.
He loves Kenny Pickett. I told him.
I like him.
I told him Mitch Trubisky is gonna be that guy, man. We know a lot about Mitch Trubisky, man. You know what I'm saying?
He's got a winning record, man. I forget that he's got some crazy ass stats, and we make fun of the people.
One thing's for sure. Every time we played Mitchell Trubisky, he did us dirty. That's all I remember. I don't care.
When they won the division
I just
that
feel
year,
like he always beat us.
I don't know if it was him or the play designs, but that year they went to the playoffs, won the division. It was crazy.
Yeah. So I mean, hey, look, I told them go Mitch, man. He wants Kenny Pickett. I'm saying go Mitch for the Steelers now that he's out of our division. I can say that. Hopefully Mitch can bring his career back to life, But me on Jalen Naylor, what I do, I go and I watch highlights. I'll go watch a couple of the games, try to see them live, just see how they come out their breaks and stuff like that. I mean, I think he's a shifty guy. Do I think he's somebody that's super special? That's I think, if you want my honest opinion, I think he's another wide receiver in the NFL that may be able to make it to, maybe the second, a number 2 guy. I don't think he has number 1 type talent. No. Yeah, he might be able to do number 2 or not. But I feel like him and KJ Osborne are kind of similar. Now, he is a little more shiftier than KJ Osborne, more speed, I believe, too. But, I mean, I can see him doing something. I'm not super excited about the kid. I think he's going to be okay, but it's not like, oh, we got Jalen Naylor and this guy's going to be something serious. I think Justin Jefferson is our focal point, obviously, on wide receiver, and everybody else needs to follow his lead. That's all I got to say about that.
In my draft recap on him, which I think I posted it today.
Yeah. I need to make sure I go watch that. Everybody, make sure y'all go watch that after this live. Go tune in, and he breaks down Jalen Naylor and lets you know everything you need to know.
I wish I could keep putting out the highlight or the videos and explain that thing, but I keep getting copyright violations.
Oh yeah, for showing
video.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm thinking maybe I'll do voiceovers in the future, but even then I'm not guaranteed. So anyways, so I just did a video on it, and I think I might have said I'm a little too crazy that I said if it was a draft that wasn't as receiver heavy and there was a lot of talented, tall receivers, if 2 things would have happened for him is that he didn't get injured as often as he did in college, and he was able to at least complete his senior year because he was hurt the last 4 games with a hand injury. That if it was a normal receiver draft, and if he was able to play more. Now I compare this to Diggs. Diggs, freshman year was a all conference for Maryland, Big Ten, I think Maryland, right? All conference kick returner his freshman year, and he got often hurt, and we drafted him in the 5th round.
Right.
So similar situation. This guy has a 19-yard per average punt return.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Naylor. What is the NFL like? If you're good, if you hit 10, right?
Yeah,
19,
for sure.
19, and I said so. If he was able to, if it was a draft that wasn't as receiver heavy, and he wasn't hurt and was able to show more productivity, that he would be in a again. I said late 2nd round.
Yeah.
But I would kind of adapt that to maybe a third round guy. And now after thinking about it all day, because that's how I do, just think about all the mistakes I make in my videos,
Right.
is that I compared him to Golden Tate.
Golden Tate.
Height wise,
Yeah.
um, I'm a closet Notre Dame fan and
Yep.
Gopher fan, but
Okay.
just because that was who was on TV when I was growing up was Notre Dame. But so I kind of compare him to Golden Tate because he ran a 4.47 at the combine, but apparently he ran a 4.39 at one point in his career, and they call his nickname is Speedy. So we got the Jet, and now we got Speedy. But I compared him a little to Thielen, but not as good. I think he's faster than Thielen.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's got great hands like Thielen, but not as good. But the thing I see that he has comparable to Thielen is his body control. If it's something's thrown behind him or he's got to come back to the ball, he's able to adjust on the ball and make the catch. He doesn't have, I don't think he has as big as back to hands. I don't think he has big hands as Thielen. But the dude's got a 38-inch vertical.
Okay.
So there's a lot of stuff he can do with that. And I think you don't see on his highlights these 50-50 balls with him winning them. Is because he only got the most catches he's had has been like 37, and he averaged like 19 yards a catch last year. So he doesn't have a lot of videos and opportunities. Plus, he gets wide open all the time.
That's what I look for too. That's good route running.
Watch this guy on a double move.
Yeah.
He's like got a different gear. The guy's standing still and he's by him. There's so many highlights of him being 10 yards deep behind the last defensive back. And I think in 2 years, we could see a Thielen retirement or a trade, and hopefully we keep able to keep Justin Jefferson, that we could have Justin Jefferson.
We better back up the Brinks truck.
So with Justin Jefferson, and then God, I just forgot about her. I just forgot the name of our receiver.
Adam Thielen.
No, I said Adam Thielen retired.
KJ Osborne.
So I'd say in the 2 years you might see Justin Jefferson, KJ Osborne, and Naylor either playing the slot or the outs. There's a lot of flexibility there because Justin Jefferson can easily play the slot too. So there's a lot of things you can do there. And one of the things you'll notice is, and I know I'm going on about this.
No, you're good.
The Rams game in 2018, there was a play where they put a.
Is that hold on, before you go, is that the game? It was like 35, 31? Was it up in that range? Was it when we were going back and forth?
Even. It was higher even.
But it was that game where it was a shootout.
There was a play where everybody go, what the hell do you have Anthony Barr on Cooper Kupp?
Yeah.
This is like Cooper Kupp before he became Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
And that's what they did. They schemed to get a receiver on a linebacker. And who do we got now? We got the guy from the Rams system, and we're gonna see us get Justin Jefferson or KJ Osborne, in motion, crossing the field either before, crossing early or late, and getting on a linebacker, depending on the what we see. And I think with this offense, unlike the last 5, I think we've had 5 different offensive coordinators in the last 4 years for Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
5. That we'll see this with KOC scheme that type into our offense and get these mismatches. And I think you'll see that coming up with this, and it's going to be amazing.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that.
I think like Favre, who was so good, is that if we had a running play because of Peterson's in the game and they put 8 in the box or 9, that he was able to audible out and make it a pass play. And that's why we were so successful in 2009. I think that's where we could be so successful this year, is to give Kirk Cousins that flexibility at the line to call the play. Because you heard him say, hey, I just do what the plays are called. I think it was because he was mandated to.
Yeah. So we got JD commented saying He said, "Man, I
Where did I go
really had
wrong?
high hopes for Wyatt Davis. He didn't get it
Yeah.
together. Hopefully, he can get it together this year. He wants. So pretty much, JD wants to see Wyatt Davis do his thing. Hey, what do you think about Wyatt Davis? I mean, do you feel like he's worth putting out there and making something happen, or what?
What was it? What was the name of the former Vikings beat writer that went to the Bears? Stuff.
You're talking about the girl, the lady.
The girl. I love watching her because she was
Yeah,
she
dang.
didn't
What
give a
was her
crap. She
name?
was very insightful. Stefanik.
Or was it?
Stefanik.
Is it Stephanie? Is it Stephanie?
I think her last name was Stefanik. I don't know. I can't remember. Again, I'm bad with names, but she was reported as saying is that she talked and she didn't give this news until she was gone. And I kind of give her credit for that because it would have caused a shitload of controversy. Did I swear on this? I apologize. My first swear word.
Oh, you're fine. You can curse. We can curse on here. Hey, I made sure when I hit the live, no, this is not for children. Just so y'all know, this is not for children.
I could go a lot worse, but she said
Courtney Cronin. There we go. Courtney
Cronin.
Yeah. Thank you.
Why did I
Thank you, Greg. Stefanik? Thank you, Greg. That's what we need.
Courtney Cronin. Okay, she's with the Bears now, and she still swipes at our team every once in a while. Because I think she saw what was going on with Zimmer behind the scenes, but she and Spielman, but she said that I think at the combine that there were scouts saying the Vikings scouts saying they didn't have a draftable grade on Wyatt Davis.
Okay,
I don't check that out. I mean, she tweeted it. So, anyways, I can't tell you he looked good before the draft. I thought it was a great pickup.
He was third round. Was it a third round pickup?
I think so. He played injured. He played injured his senior year. He didn't have to play.
Mm-hmm.
He could have came out in the draft. Like if he came out a year earlier, I think he would have got drafted higher. There's some people that had him, mocked in early second, late first. But again, mocks are mocks.
Right.
Don't put too much weight on that, as you can tell with the quarterbacks this past year.
I mean, this past year, the draft was, the mocks were just all over the place, and it didn't.
Do not look at my video on quarterbacks.
Yeah, it just didn't happen.
I'm very high on Ritter, but don't go look at my video on quarterbacks.
Well, I'm going to tell you, this draft, the next year's draft is going to be quarterback heavy. It's going to be just like last draft, I believe, with the
Alabama and Ohio State.
And Florida, the kid from Florida, I think, from the Gators. I think he's already have some early steam, I believe.
I'm gonna pay a lot more attention to college football now that I'm a YouTuber.
Yeah, for sure. Me too, man. I'm gonna try to do better, guys. I need to know more about these guys that I'm talking about. I'm just rambling on about them, don't know nothing about them. I'm just having fun. Hey, I love doing this, man. This is so fun. All right, so we talked about, we had to answer that question because JD, or was that JD?
I really didn't even answer it. I mean, I'm rooting for the guy. I was hoping he'd be right guard. That's it. No worries about it. I think Zimmer. There's word that he was a lot out of shape going into last year. I don't know. He's like he had to lose like 7 pounds or something like that. I don't know. But apparently this offseason, he really hit it hard, supposedly.
Yeah.
And hopefully he comes in the camp and proves himself. The problem is they gave him so much damn competition, including Ingram. Now, there is opportunity. I think he lined up at center a little bit last year. And I think...
Yeah, he's able to play center. That's right. Yeah.
I don't know. He played it a lot, but he lined up at there. So
yeah, they kept saying every time people would talk about him, they always brought up center. Oh yeah, he can also switch to center and this. So hey, maybe
I think they did it because out of necessity, because of injuries or whatever. But
yeah,
I think they had him do that just in case. But who knows if he impresses.
Somebody, hold on, I don't mean to cut you off again. Somebody, the McAndrews. Glad you had Dave on the show. Glad you had Dave on the show, bud. Hey, and this is one of my real supporters.
You can see him now.
Oh, you can see him now.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, good. Yeah, you see it. I tag him on the bottom there. You see him on the screen with us, right?
Thank you, McAndrews.
Yeah, perfect. There you go. Yeah, so he always he's been supporting me from day one. He's always watching my videos, giving feedback. Hey, McAndrews, make sure you go to
live Dave. Sunday at 7.
There you go.
Live Sunday at 7.
Yep. Y'all make sure y'all tune in. We're gonna keep bringing y'all this Vikings content, and hey, We're going to make it happen, man. We appreciate y'all tapping in tonight for sure. We ain't done yet. We still got a couple things we want to talk about. You know, we've been going on for time flies when you're having fun. Ain't that right, Dave?
Yep. And make sure, McAndrews, you go to Minnesota Sports Talk and hit subscribe.
Definitely.
Sports Talk.
Yeah, please make sure y'all subscribe to him. We trying to get both of our channels up, man. We trying to get to 1K before the season starts.
I need more people commenting on my channels. Tell me.
All right, here's a question. Maurice McFadden. He said Skol. So Skol, brother.
Hey,
he said, how do y'all think the off season is going?
Good transition here.
That's on you, Dave.
Better than I hoped. Honestly, I was really worried that we wouldn't do anything this off season. But the fact that we went after, good offensive line depth.
Yeah.
I think that was important. I'm pulling up my free agent tracker here. I was kind of losing Pierce. When he was healthy, he played really good. Right. And I think that sucks, but but when we switched to 3-4, it wasn't going to be as important. So I don't think that's going to be a big issue. I think cornerback, I think Chandon Sullivan is definitely going to be an upgrade of what we had.
I like Chandon Sullivan. I like him. That was a good pick for me.
Mackenzie Alexander was rated the worst cornerback in the entire league last year by PFF, I think.
It's sad that he fell off like that, I mean, he was a decent guy.
He was a second-round pick. Yeah, and he was a team player, and he came back to us. And I say this all the time: Minnesota Vikings are a destination franchise.
Yeah,
with the facilities that we have, the ownership, player-friendly ownership that we have.
Yeah,
and they took over with the Love Boat scandal. They were our owners during the Love Boat scandal, and they're still our owners. And they brought us a new stadium, this new practice facilities. It's the new headquarters, everything. They brought us everything and made us a destination to work. Now, if let's say Aaron Rodgers no longer exists because he's going to be 38, are you going to go to Minneapolis or are you going to go to Green Bay if you're a free agent? So just think about that.
We going to Minneapolis, baby.
I'm bringing this point down because you may not realize this. I'm a little longer in the tooth. I've actually seen a game where it was coached by Bud Grant. So
yeah. Okay. Hey, you want to know what's crazy, Dave?
And then I saw Les Steckel and then Bud Grant come back.
Didn't you did you post a picture on Twitter of a side-by-side comparison of KO and Bud?
KO and Bud Grant, how much they look alike?
Isn't it crazy? Look, it's crazy.
That's my biggest tweet. I got like 1,300 like little Hardy things.
I'm telling you.
Anyways, my point there is that the Green Bay Packers, after they won those Super Bowls and were title town, they sucked for an entire 2 decades, the 70s and 80s, until they got Brett Favre, and then Aaron Rodgers took that over. So basically, it's taken 2 MVP two MVP football players. I don't know. Did Brett Favre get the MVP? I forget. But definitely Pro Bowl, all pro quarterbacks to get them out of the doldrums to allow them to overtake the win total record from us. We were like, when Brett Favre took over, we were 10 up on them. And then in the NFC North, and back then the Central was us and nobody else. And then the Packers came along, and it was Packers, Vikings, Packers, Vikings. It went like that. It took us having a quarterback roulette situation, and we were still competitive. Yeah. But it took those 2 guys. So once you'll see once Aaron Rodgers is gone, that it'll be all Vikings again, because who are you going to go? I mean, the facilities, the Minnesota Vikings, the stadium, the town is a better place to be than any of the teams in the NFC North. But
I have to agree with you.
I think we saved ourselves by re-signing Patrick Peterson. But the big acquisition was Zadarius Smith. If Danielle Hunter and Zadarius Smith can stay healthy,
oh man,
it's
gonna be. Hey, listen,
at the quarterback,
stay healthy. It's gonna be Halloween.
Let's go.
Every Sunday is gonna be Halloween. You hear me? For the opposing team, it's gonna be
It's gonna be
Halloween out
scary,
there.
man.
Yes,
It's
it
gonna be
will.
so scary.
Yeah,
They can
it
and
really
they can
will.
play. And Zadarius Smith was known for being anywhere on the field, including middle linebacker,
I
rushing from
mean, he
there.
terrorized us, so we know what to expect, and hopefully, he has those same pair of cleats on when he's
And
in
he
the
should be
purple now.
fresh. He played one game last year, and that was the
Yeah,
playoff game.
yeah.
But so that was the big acquisition. Harrison Phillips was a good. I think with the linebacker we got, the other linebacker we got in Harrison Phillips, we
Yeah,
kind of figured out, hey, we had a problem against the run the past 2 years. We
right,
were
right.
dog shit against the run. I'm swearing more. I'm trying to
You're
prove,
fine.
but
Wait,
I
again,
I think
Dave.
I'm no,
Again,
I'm
Dave.
saying I'm trying to
Again,
get there.
Dave.
I'm trying to
Again,
up that
Dave.
level.
Let me tell you, this channel is not
I'm not
for kids.
apologizing. I'm
We're
upping my
good.
level. I'm
Yeah,
upping my level, man.
there you
But
go.
I think that's what we addressed with those picks. I did. Jordan Hicks. Yeah, that's what I was trying to think of.
Here you go,
Jordan
Dave.
Hicks and Harrison Phillips.
Before I put this on the screen, Dave, you see the question down there that Maurice asks? If you had to guess how many wide receivers do they keep in what order? And then I'm gonna put this on here because somebody just subscribed to you, Dave. I tagged that at the bottom.
Oh, yay. I got 63 people now.
There you go. It's working.
So
Appreciate it.
again, I'm terrible with names, so I was like, I need to pull up a depth chart. So this is my thought coming in. I think Jalen Naylor makes the team.
Okay.
Which does not look good for was it
Olabisi Johnson?
Cine.
Or Olabisi. I did a video on Cine. It's crazy that we didn't use his speed. Now, I feel like KO is going to take a deep look at Cine. I mean, that's my opinion. I mean, that kid.
I think he's going to give everybody a fair shot.
Yeah.
Just he didn't have any production in college other than return.
Yeah.
I think the best he ever did was 100 yards. He was the track star and decided to come out for football.
Right.
And then he gets drafted because he run a 4.3 whatever.
Yeah, he's really fast. Yeah, he can open the top.
So,
he can open the top.
So he's a special teams ace. But if you notice, a lot of the players we drafted this year,
right,
I think are going to be special teams aces. Much like, let me pull his name up really quick. Brian Asamoah, I think is going to be a special teams ace. I think
linebacker, Jr., Oklahoma.
Yeah, Booth Jr. These guys don't care about their body at all.
Right.
Booth Jr., Asamoah.
Ingram either. You're right. I mean, you see his film, how he's laying people. I mean, he is.
Oh yeah, you see him where he like picks people off their feet,
I'm telling you,
throws them down. Yeah, it's amazing.
Keep that same energy, Ingram.
But I'm thinking like competing with Cine.
Cine. Yeah, definitely.
So let me pull up that. So obviously it's Justin Jefferson, it's Adam Thielen.
Yep.
Then KJ Osborne.
3.
Amir Smith-Marset is going to start. Yep. And then what do we get? Then it's between, if we keep 5, it's going to be between Jalen Naylor and BC Johnson. I think we keep 6. Why? And potentially 7, I don't know, but 6 I think is a good, because of we play 11 personnel, which is they played 11 personnel at the Rams a lot, which is 1 running back, 1 tight end. So that's 3 receivers. That that's why I think about that, is that we're going to have 3-4 receivers out there a lot, and you're going to need 6 guys at least, and that's why I think, and that's why they're also lining up Dalvin Cook as a receiver, in bunch formations.
That's a big story this week that they're doing that,
because and I think that's where Ty Chandler comes into play too. I think that's the kind of player he can be, and if he can, and that's why I worry about Madison making the team, is because he is in the last year of his contract, and it might be a purely business decision to trade him for a running back needy team. If you had Dalvin Cook on your fantasy football team, you needed to have Alexander Madison, or you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Because every time
I had Alexander Madison on my fantasy last year, and he did me good for sure.
Yeah. So that's my order. Those are the top 6 guys, and we're giving BC Johnson a little nostalgia credit here. because he did kind of come out. He's 7th round pick. He came out of nowhere and was our third receiver.
Yeah.
And then we tried to make him our number 2. Like
Yeah.
Justin Jefferson was sitting on the sidelines, and I think we went 0-5, or I forget, 1-5 or something like that to start the season.
Yeah. I mean, so this is the thing with Olabisi to me. I just feel like Olabisi Johnson, I don't think he has that. He seems like a really good locker room guy from read.
He's
his personality.
He's
just
the kind of
like a really good guy. Yeah,
but I mean,
from I did a video on him a couple days ago, and just from a talent level, I mean, just from a talent level, I just think, the guys, including Jalen Naylor, now bringing him in. I mean, I just think that the hill he has to climb is going to be pretty steep to get up there, and get on the field.
He's not as explosive as the other guys. Like Morset and Naylor are explosive guys, and I don't think BC Johnson is. But I think he's a good player, and that's why I think he can make the team. If we keep 6, he makes the team, and I think you can keep vets on practice squad now. Again, that's where I get in a little trouble. Is that there was that change where they you're able to keep more guys on practice squad, including veterans.
Right. Yeah. I mean, hey, look, let's see who we got here. So we got Kevin King. What's up? He said, "Hey dogs, what's up, family?" Yeah, you're more aiming towards me. I know you're more aiming towards me, man. What's up, family?
I'm not a dog.
Hey, you know what? Hey, Kev, I'm your dog. What's up? Hey, me and Dave are like, we're definitely. Like
we actually just met each other for the first time today.
We just met each other.
People realize that
today, but we're bestest friends now.
I
feel like we're doing good. I feel like
this is amazingly better than I expected. I thought I was gonna. The amount of stuttering I've done, I thought it was gonna be like 10 times more than that.
So for one, I thought Dave was gonna come out here and cook me all night and make me just look like I don't know anything about the Minnesota Vikings. But it turned in that I'm doing the interview, so it's working out perfect. And I feel like this is how we do the show.
You're the MC, man.
Because Dave has the knowledge. Again, if there's any new people in the chat right now, any new people watching, we got 16 people. I'm sure there's some new faces in. Make sure y'all go subscribe to Dave at Minnesota Sports Talk. His channel's in the description. Y'all make sure y'all go if y'all want really in-depth Viking info, Viking news. He's bringing it to you every day. Just make sure you go do it.
Minnesota Sports Talk. You can follow me at Skol World and at MN Sports Podcast on Twitter.
I'm telling you, he doing his thing on Twitter. I got like 20 Twitter followers. So hey, anybody in here, go follow my Twitter at Purple Pocket Pod. You know what I mean? Everything with me is Purple Pocket.
We need to get him over 25 today.
I need to have 25 followers, man. I got like 10 or something like that.
You got me beat hands down on YouTube, man. But I got you beat on Twitter. That's all.
Yeah,
I spent some time on that.
Well, look, my YouTube channel, I have to give a big thanks to everybody watching right now because I'm sure y'all are subscribers, and if y'all aren't, why not? But everybody, I was surprised on how many people really gravitated towards my channel, man. I appreciate it. You don't understand how much it means to me. You guys are the best, man. Our fan base is the best. We the littest, man, for real. Nobody can mess with the purple, man. You already know what's up. We're going to rep it. Hey, thank y'all. And y'all make sure y'all get Dave to where I'm at, man. Hold on, Dave. Let me go turn my camera back on.
Yeah, I was going to. So if you haven't known this, he needs a new camera. Every 30 minutes it shuts off. But he's not gone for very long. Let me wait for him to join back on. I was gonna look at every once in a while. I do like surveys of what people think.
Yeah.
And I wanted to go. There was one I did. Let's see. Here, what grade would you give the Minnesota Vikings on their draft? Explain in the comments. Barely anybody explains. But 16% gave us an A, 61% gave us a B, and that's what I gave us.
Yeah,
I thought we had a B, C 19%, and then the Purple Podcast gave us a D. I'm just kidding.
Was that me? I gave us a D.
I'm just kidding. No, 4% gave us a D, And
Well, I
these
mean,
are
honestly, I did a video. I gave us a C+.
that was 350 people did
Oh,
that.
wow.
That was pretty good. That was my
That's
biggest
pretty
one I
good.
think I've ever had.
Yeah, for sure. That's pretty good, So, all right. So we got into all the draft picks. I like how we're doing this, pretty much letting, the people that are in the chat, y'all have questions y'all want us to go over. You want Dave to go in depth about anything. Make sure you leave a comment and we'll put it up there and he will be more than happy. I'll give my 2 cents on it. This show is running smooth. We appreciate everybody tapping in. We're going to do this every Sunday, God willing, at 7 o'clock. Just the perfect time for us to do it, man. We have nothing better to do but to have fun and, spend a couple hours with you guys and go over Vikings news. Thank you. You telling us we did a great job. Thank you. I appreciate it. Hold on, but we're not done yet, man. We're still going to talk about a couple more things. Why not? You got time, Dave, or are you ready to
I got
go?
plenty of time. Can I do one more survey I did?
Do it.
This is my favorite, although only 40 people answered. I think it was too dark.
Okay.
I said, question, pick an age where you would be willing to die if it meant the Vikings won a Super Bowl or a multiple.
Wow.
You would get 1 year to enjoy it, and then you would die immediately. And I put age 50 equals 3 Super Bowls. Age 60 equals 2 Super Bowls. Age 70 equals 1 Super Bowl, or you'd be immortal, and Vikings would win 0 Super Bowls. So 29% would rather be immortal than have this win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But age 50, 3 Super Bowls, 18% said they would they would prefer to die with the Vikings winning 3 Super Bowls, and they got to live for 1 more year.
Wow.
At age 50. 8% said age 60, 2 Super Bowls, and 45% said they were willing to die at age 70 if we only won 1 Super Bowl. So at age 70, if you're 70 years old, you would die, and then you get to live for 1 year to enjoy it, but then you die.
Wow.
So yeah, people, that would get 45% said they were willing to die at age 70 if we won a Super Bowl. And funny thing is, I would do wellness checks on my mother.
Yeah.
When we were like in 2017, I was checking on my mom every week just to make sure she's okay. And now here it is, 2022, she's still kicking. I'm like, Mom, stick with it, man. Stick with it.
Yeah.
Keep it going. And I think that's what the Skol North guys say.
JD commented, said, I love the Vikings. He hold on, let me see if he'll let me, because this is
I see it. I love the Vikings, but if I can live forever, then I'll just keep enjoying watching them losing the Super Bowl every time.
Hey, I'm with you, JD. I ain't gonna lie. I think I'm with you too.
I'm gonna choose. I don't know if I want to be immortal though. I could have 80, 90, but you only have 4 choices here, so.
Yeah. Those are good creative things on Twitter though, doing those polls like that. I need to get more active on Twitter. I'm kind of just post my videos on there. I don't really ask anything. I don't got anybody to talk to on Twitter. I think that's the problem. Y'all make sure y'all go follow me on there, man. Give me somebody to talk to on there, then maybe I'll make it happen. Let's see. So all right, so let's get into this, Dave, really quick. All right, so we might as well, and we're going to do this multiple times, obviously, before the season starts. And what I mean by we're going to do this multiple times is talking about the record. What do you think, looking at the schedule, looking at the layout now, just saying the kickoff started tomorrow. We're opening up what? Green Bay is coming to us? Is it home game against Green Bay?
Home game against Green Bay. We play all 3 of our conference games, I think, before the 6th week at home. And then we end the season with Green Bay and Chicago which was crappy schedule. Having us finish it against the conference at the end, especially at those 2 sites, especially what the weather will be.
Yeah. Let's see here. Let me see. I'm gonna pull up really quick here. Let me just pull this up really quick so I can make sure I don't sound crazy on here. We'll look
just to plug me again, Minnesota Sports Talk. I actually did a video of where I did the schedule review and what I thought our record would be.
Yeah, definitely. Yep, I got one of those too, where I went through each game, but I'm sure Dave went really.
He said Kirk Cousins was going to lose 10 games, and cost us 10 wins this year. No, I'm just kidding.
No. We go. I mean, my honest opinion, right?
I'm kidding.
10-7, 10-7. That I mean,
Okay.
and if you think about it, that's about 2 games above what Kirk Cousins is used to. I mean, because he is 8-8,
That's
8
just
in the,
that's a ceiling. Yeah.
yeah, 8 games is really almost a ceiling. And this is another thing, right? Dave, speaking of Kirk Cousins, obviously he's the most glorified person on our team as far as everybody wants to talk about him. He's the quarterback,
Oh
obviously.
yeah.
When
It
you're the
comes with the
quarterback of an
territory.
NFL team, you're gonna be talked about, whether it's good, whether it's bad. That's what you sign up for, and plus he's making all of the money. You know what I mean? So I feel like we have the right to talk about him. I mean, what does he care? He's making how much millions every year? Forget about it. So
I think the average now is 35 million. Like
yeah.
that's his
So
average value.
that's one thing that he is really good at, and
He
he
started out
always
at
wins
28.
the negotiation. One thing for sure. If he can win the Super Bowl like he can win the negotiation, then we'll be on point.
Yeah, there's some stat about how he's made more money than any quarterback in the league in the last
I mean,
since he started that Vikings contract. That he's made more money than any other quarterback in the league.
but you know
Because
what? This year though, I actually am gonna stand behind him. I feel like he's gonna do good. I really do. You know what I
I
mean? I
wouldn't
have
stand
my
behind him if Bradbury is center.
no, because then they'll be hitting me. Yeah, for sure.
But
All
yeah,
right, let's see.
you pull a curveball on me. I didn't think we were going to talk about the schedule, but I got to pull it up. Yeah, we
Yeah, I had to
so
pull it up too. Yeah.
so yeah. It's here's a good thing is I don't know if you remember this last year that Green Bay started out the season and laid a complete egg on the first game. I actually I talked about this in one of my videos is where and I made fun of him when it happened. And I did a TikTok. I had this TikTok channel and I did a thing where uh he he had the worst possible quarterback rating. Like they said if he threw the ball into the ground every single pass, he would have had a higher quarterback rating than he did in that game. Like if they took every pass and he threw it directly into the ground, he would have had a higher quarterback rating. So he did worse than the worst that first game of the season. And he's done that before. Remember that thing where he had RELAX, relax. Remember
Yep.
that press
Yep.
conference? It was after he went 0-2 or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's good that we got him early. We got him at home, and it's going to be a crazy ass crowd. So, and they have no scouting report on us.
So
They have no clue what we're going to do.
JD has us going 14-3. That's
Oh
where
yeah.
he thinks we're
So I
going.
I wasn't even that optimistic on my high side. So I gave a high and I gave us a low. I said we would go 12-5. I
12
feel
and
that's
5 on the high.
optimistic.
All right,
I
what's
d-
the low?
no,
What's
I
the
did
low?
13. I actually did 13 on the high, but I feel like we're gonna go 12-5. And I did say our low would be 10-7.
That's
I
the
don't think we're a
low?
losing
You
team.
think the
I don't
floor you think the floor is 10? Oh,
we're a
okay.
better team than last year.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I agree with I feel a lot better for
We're gonna have a
sure.
better defense than last year. And it
Yeah.
really has to do with health. But the fact that I have a lot of confidence in our coaches.
Yeah.
Um, these guys have taken teams to NFC title games, Super Bowls as coordinators. Like
Uh-huh.
like even Pettin from when he was with Green Bay, they went to the
Yeah.
NFC title game like 3 years in a row and they fired him
Oh, wow.
because of the one game. Because the NFC title game, they got beat on one play at the end of the game to lose it, or it was
Yeah.
a last minute drive or something. So yeah, he's well thought of, and he's not going to be your DC, defensive coordinator. But the fact that I think these guys are not selfish people.
Right.
I think there's no co defensive coordinator. In fact, it's a three-headed monster because your head coach is actually your D coordinator,
Yeah.
and you got two guys telling people the message, and one of them's your son. So none of that shit's happening anymore. There's no more nepotism. Um, but yeah, so I think we're going into that first game. There is absolutely no book on us. And I think that's now going into the Eagles week 2, they're going to be a good team. It's a terrible environment to play. They still hate us. If you're a Vikings fan, do not go to that game. You may die
Yeah.
after that
So
after
so speaking of
2017.
speaking of going to games, you know what game I'm going to week 6. I'm gonna go down to Miami, me and my wife. So this is the
Oh,
thing.
bringing the wife.
Yeah, I've been to, you know, US Bank Stadium already, the new one. I've been there, had fun in Minnesota, stayed downtown. And we played Miami actually week 15. It was in 2000 what was that? I think that was 2018 when we played them week 15. And we beat them. You know, we destroyed them up in Minnesota, and it was a fun game to go. So now I'm gonna go down to Miami and watch them play there. Just kind of see what Tua and them can do. See if they can give us any kind of challenge. Because to me, I mean, I know when I did my prediction, I said that that's probably a game we're gonna drop. It just feels like one of those games that we're gonna drop down there. You know, it's still gonna be warm. And when is that day? Week 6. Yeah, it's gonna be super hot
That's
in
week
Miami.
6.
Yeah, so it's gonna be warm down there. You know, it just seems like one of the games we're gonna drop. But you know what? I'm gonna go down there, have fun, and we'll see what happens, man. That's the game I'm going to this year. So I try to go to at least one game a year, whether it's up in Minnesota or if it's somewhere close to where I'm at down here down south. So that's
The last
my game.
the last time we played Miami, we lost. It was Zimmer's first year, and Peterson was suspended. And I
Yeah.
was at the game, and we lost on a block punt for I
Oh
think a
wow.
touchdown. Yeah, block punt for a touchdown.
So how do you
Yeah, we
feel
were
about?
killing them the whole game.
So
Killing
how
them
do
the
you
whole
feel?
game. We
How
were
do you
dominating.
feel? How do you
What's
feel about the playing the Saints? You know, I'm never worried about the Saints. I feel like we got the Saints
oh,
number recently.
I
I mean, I know
think we got
last
a
year was
plan.
that last year or was that 2020 where they ran like for 5 touchdowns on us? I think that was 2020, wasn't it? Yeah.
Oh, it's 2020. Oh my God,
I
it's like
mean, that had
how can
Zimmer so mad.
that was the worst defense we've ever put on the field ever.
Yeah, that was bad. Hey,
Ever.
hold on, Dave. Hey, keep them entertained really quick. I just gotta go. Gotta take a restroom
Eagles
break.
used to have a jail in Veterans Stadium. Rowdy
Yeah,
fan.
talk to
I'll
him.
answer this question. Yeah, I can believe it. I think a lot of stadiums do. It just might be like an office, but yeah, if they actually had bars, I wouldn't doubt it. I remember when we played the Eagles, it all started because some doofuses from Minnesota went and put Vikings memorabilia and a jersey on the Rocky statue, and watching video of Viking people with their kids having beer cans flying over their head as they're walking into the stadium. And then more and more of there was tons of that, like beer cans being thrown at Vikings fans coming in. And then during the game, it was just incredible how Vikings fans were treated. The same there's 3 places you may not there's several. I mean, back Oakland, San Francisco, I believe the Saints is a place. Atlanta is a tough place for fans. So there's plenty of places out there that are really rough for fans, but I think Eagles is probably right up there as the worst. I believe they threw snowballs and boots Santa Claus, right? Incredible, crazy fan base. I just couldn't live with myself if I was an Eagles fan. I don't think. But I think there was a good movie with Mark Wahlberg back in the day that I thought was amazing. That was pretty cool. But I forget the name of it, but it was a special teams player that made it on walk-on tryouts, and they did a filmography of him. So that was pretty awesome. I think he's resetting his camera. We thought this was going to be an hour, but we're having so much fun that we're keeping it going.
I'm back. I might as well reset it since I walked back in the room.
Yeah, we're deep into our second hour. We thought like hour and a half, right? But this is awesome. Yeah, I was just telling him like the worst places for fans to go to, and I was saying the Eagles, the Saints, Atlanta, and I don't know. I don't.
Is Atlanta's bad like that?
Oh yeah.
Well, I was born in New Jersey, South Jersey, so I know all about Philly. I know all about
Philly.
Atlanta's
Atlanta's pretty bad. Gosh, I think I can't remember who else I said here. I imagine the Jets and the Jets
Oh,
in New York might be a little rough.
any New York team,
I might,
definitely.
I was told, I went to a Twins game
Yeah.
back, gosh, 2000, early two. We were still good. Um, I know either we're good this year, but we're playing Yankee Stadium. I went to New York for the first time. It was the first year of the new Yankee Stadium. I go to a Yankees game and I'm going to the bathroom. I'm sitting in the bleachers creatures with Twins stuff on. And I'd leave. They were pretty okay unless you pissed them off. They
Right.
made fun of you, and you can make fun of them back. But if you pissed them off, they would go off on you. And I think you might have saw a highlight earlier this year where they're throwing stuff at the Cleveland Indians Cleveland Indians outfielder.
Yeah.
But I'll walk to the bathroom, and little 9-year-old kid comes up to me and tells me to fuck off.
Oh, wow.
A little 9-year-old kid. I'm like, oh my
Cutthroat?
god. Little kids were telling me "f you" every time I had to leave to go to the bathroom. But so
Wow.
the adults weren't nearly as bad as little 9-year-old kids were. So yeah, they teach them early there. But I'd say that the same. Oh, and then I also said back when they played Raiders played in Oakland and San Francisco, because God the hell, there's shootouts when at those games. So I'd be afraid of my life at going to an Oakland. When it was Oakland and San Francisco when they play each other.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. He said they
Like
tried to kill.
Dodgers, San Francisco are horrible. I can't imagine what the football games are like.
Yeah, I'll pass, I'll pass. I'm going there. I'm wearing neutral colors and I'm just gonna act like, I'm just what is the sport about? I mean, teach me. I don't even know how this sport goes.
What's this foosball thing that
Was
you
that
use?
a home run or something? What was that called? A home run?
It
Okay.
says foosball. Yeah,
Yeah.
when you come down to Miami, you won't find that the Miami are that very diehard fans. You just
Yeah, yeah.
they're pretty fair weather.
Yeah, my mother's married to a Miami born, in Hialeah, and he loved Miami, so they might come with us
Yeah,
actually.
one of my best friends is a Miami fan, even though he grew up in like Alabama. His dad
Yeah,
was raised in Miami, so I became a Miami fan. He was
yeah,
listening at the start of the show. I doubt he stayed on this long, but hopefully he comes down for the game and we got to hook up
yeah.
because
Oh yeah,
I
when
definitely
I
got to get
come
to the game.
when I
We
come
have
down there, we'll set up and we're gonna do a show. We can we'll do a show while I'm there too. I can set up in the hotel
that'd be
room.
cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure I bring my little portable setup, and we'll be able to,
I wonder if we could. I don't know. I wonder if we could. Would it be strong enough signal if we did like something out in out in the parking lot
out
with
in the
other
we
people?
probably not. Yeah, we could.
I
We
don't know.
could. We could
I don't
figure it
have
out. We could
a
figure it
satellite.
out. We'll figure it out. We'll when we get
That'd be
closer to that
fun.
time, we'll figure it out. It will be fun.
Interview Vikings fans at our show because we actually have a pretty good. We actually have 2 fan clubs down
Yeah. So
here.
how is it down there in Florida? I mean, is there a lot of purple down there?
Yeah, we have because people retire, move to
Right.
Florida.
Florida's a
So
big
yeah, we
town.
got 2 fan clubs down here. It's split up because the one fan club or the one place closed down, so they split up.
Right.
And I think the Packers fan club is at a bar called Losers.
Oh wow. Perfect.
That's awesome.
That
But
sounds like where they
yeah,
need to be.
yeah. So there's 2. There's one downtown Fort Lauderdale and one in a little north of there. So
Okay.
it's pretty good, and they're actually trying to get together. I was when I lived in Nashville, Tennessee. There was a really good one, and he's been on TV and is actually the guy, and he's actually brought in Vikings players that come to the fan clubs. But one of the cool things that happened is we we had one game, and Teddy Bridgewater was our quarterback. I think it was when he was starting, and
Yeah.
he played one of the worst games of his life, and his dad happened to come to the fan club. I mean, he was terrible that game. He was
Oh
awful.
wow.
And here's his biological dad sitting there. Because I
Well,
think his parents
isn't it
got married.
crazy? Teddy Bridgewater's playing for Miami this year, isn't he?
But
I
we
think
had they did a thing for us when we made the playoffs in 2017 because of Teddy
yeah.
Bridgewater. Not 2017. What was the year we made the playoffs with Teddy?
Was it 16 or
Oh,
was it 15?
it was the year we the field goal
Yeah, the
missed
field goal
against
Blair, right?
Seattle.
What was it? Who
Was that
was it?
2000? 14.
Cold game. That game was cold.
Yeah,
It was
it was
in
at
Gopher Stadium.
the college field. It was at the
Was it
yeah,
at Gopher Stadium? Yeah, it was at Gopher
whatever it's
Stadium.
called. Is it called US Bank? No, yeah, US
No,
Bank's our
US
state.
Bank is our stadium. Yeah.
What's it called there? It's a bank though, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I just know it's Minnesota
It's
University
named after
Stadium.
a bank. I forget. It's not US Bank, but it's another bank. But yeah, so we're playing it there, and it was like the third coldest game in NFL
Yeah, it was
history.
freezing. I think it was like
And
-6 or something.
yeah, that was his. I think we're down 10-9 or something. He misses that field goal. But yeah, Blair Walsh, and he had the most 50-yard field goals, 10 for 10, instead of NFL record, and he
I'm
misses
telling
that
you.
one.
I mean, that's just the Vikings thing that would happen. Like, I mean,
And then we cut Carlson, and he becomes the best
now
kicker
he's
in the
like
league.
one of the best kickers in the league, right? Right? I mean,
Yeah,
it's crazy. It's
because
like
he missed like 4 field goals against the
during
Packers.
Green
That
Bay,
was a
yeah,
tie.
and we wound up tying, and that was a
Tying
game
that
we
game.
could have won if he would have just hit one of those 4 field goals that he missed. I believe it was 4.
I think it was 4.
Something.
I don't know. It's terrible, but
I mean, it's
they
just
cut him
like,
the
come
next.
on, man. Like, seriously.
They cut him. They didn't even try to sneak him onto the practice.
Oh yeah,
team.
he knew he was gone.
They had different rules back then, but yeah.
Yeah, he knew he was gone. I mean, what about this kicker that we brought in?
We drafted him in the 5th round. Remember that? 5th round we drafted Carlson.
Oh yeah, yeah. We brought in a guy.
Yeah.
Peace out, Kev.
Don't ask me about the kicker.
Peace out, Kev, man. Appreciate you, man. Make sure you tap in next week.
I know Joseph is one. I don't know the guy we brought in, but apparently he had a draftable grade. I heard that we got him as a UDFA. I don't know his name. I can't even think of it.
Yeah,
maybe I have him on the.
I mean, hopefully, I like Greg Joseph. I think we're okay with Greg Joseph. I think we can.
The problem is he missed like 6 extra points last year.
It's okay. I mean, I feel he did do that, but I feel like I'm tired.
Otherwise, he's pretty solid.
This is the thing, though, Dave. I'm tired of us going out year in and year out and trying these guys, not knowing what to expect. At least I know that Greg Joseph can make 50 or better. He's pretty decent at that. And I feel like he probably worked on his craft during the off season and he can get better. We're going to bring in a new guy and it's like, here we go. Week 1, we need a field goal to win the game. And we're running out this UDFA, whatever, this guy that we picked up. We don't know if he can even kick a field goal. And we got to have our fingers crossed. And there, I can just see it hitting the post. Boom. And then it's like.
His name is Gabe Burkick.
Gabe Burkick. Okay. Well, hey, let's see what happens. One thing's for sure is I feel it's a breath of fresh air having Kevin O'Connell and knowing that he's definitely a player's type of coach. And he's going to look at every single aspect of the field.
They're not going to do knee-jerk
reactions. Everything.
They're not going to do knee-jerk reactions like, get this son of a bitch out here.
Yeah.
They're not
Zimmer was just, man, towards the last 2 to 3 to 2 or 3 years, man. I think he just was going downhill and just, started saying,
he became get off my lawn.
Yeah.
He became get off my lawn. And how do you feel about how it took to the 4th year for Cousins to finally get him to meet with him?
Well, I seen that too. So I know we're trying to look for.
How was this not happening?
So I see what we're doing here, Dave, right? So we're trying to throw this in here as here's another thing going against Kirk.
That's another thing against Zimmer. But
I have to agree with you. It is a big thing, being the head
huge
coach,
thing.
Yeah, being the head coach of an NFL team, Mike, you have to go in and meet with your quarterback, Mike. Like, why were you not talking with your quarterback, Zimmer? Like come on, man. It's just ridiculous, man. This guy, when that came out last year, I was like, are you serious? So he has 45 minutes he can spend with them. Hey, I'll do 45 minutes one day a week, and we'll handle this guy. But it's like,
that's why I was pretty excited that we went offensive coordinator. And I think we dodged here's one thing that goes unsung. We dodged a huge bullet. Kwesi, I think, was the right choice.
Right.
Look what's happening over in Chicago.
Oh, wow. He's stripping the whole house down to the studs.
We're going to take over the NFC North and never give it back.
Well, you know what's crazy
It might be
is
a while after what you've done.
what's
Yeah.
what's crazy is I think the Bears and the Lions are gonna switch positions. You know, I think the Lions
Yeah,
might be.
but yeah, I've seen that. I've seen people give the Lions more credit.
I think the Lions are gonna be surprising. You know, I mean, their coach, you know, Man Campbell, man, Dan the Man. You know what I mean? Like, hey, look, I mean, he is who he is. You know,
They
hey,
played a lot.
look,
They played everybody. They played a lot of teams tough last year and beat us for God's
they
sake.
beat
I'm
us,
like,
which was
and that
crazy.
game knocked us out of the playoffs because we win that game. We're in the playoffs.
But you know what?
We may have had to live with Zimmer for another throughout his contract because
Well, no,
I
you
mean
know
that was
what,
only like the
Dave?
second year of his contract.
You know what, Dave? I don't care. I didn't want to make the playoff. After about week 12, I was like, this team better not make the playoffs because why? Why are we gonna go to the playoffs just so we can get demolished in the first round? Like, I mean, it just
I
wasn't.
for me, I look at it this way. I'm like, I want free agents to want to come here and think we're good.
Yeah,
I want the players because they don't want to play on losing teams and in bad locker room situations. So
right.
change needed to happen,
Yeah,
and we stuck it at like 8 and 9. I think beating the Bears cost us 3 spots in the draft or whatever.
yeah, yeah.
But I don't know if I don't know if Kwesi trades on the 32 or for at 9, but yeah. So I look at it this way. I think ending on a high note, I think helps more than hurts, and I
Right.
think make it. I think if we made the playoffs at 9 and wasn't so it would be 9 and 8, right?
Mm-hmm.
That
Yeah.
I think they still fire him. I
Right.
think
Yeah.
they
Me
still
too.
fire him.
I think he was fired by week 8. He was fired.
Yeah. I,
Yeah. I think he was fired early.
I wonder
I
if
think
his
it's
girlfriend still stuck with him. She
probably
defended
not.
him on
She
Twitter. I don't
probably
know if you
fired him
saw
too.
she went off on she went off on Spielman on Twitter after that happened.
Yeah, I mean Spillman, and when they were saying that, you know, Zimmer's gonna be gone, but we're keeping that right there, I was like, no, like, you know, if we gonna get rid of Zimmer,
I thought we
we're
were gonna
getting
keep
rid of
Spielman.
Spillman too. You wanted to keep him?
I thought we were gonna keep him.
Did you want
I didn't.
to?
I think I was pretty 50-50 on it,
Yeah.
but
Okay.
after I heard everything that came out of the relationship and the way
Right.
Spielman was, and
Right.
I thought after that I thought, man, you guys made the right decision.
It's funny. He's on like TikTok now. Like I think
Oh, I
he
saw
keeps on
he
going
did a I
viral
didn't
on
look at it.
TikTok.
I didn't want to.
Yeah.
I didn't want to look at it, but I thought he was pretty good.
Trust me,
And
it's gonna hurt. Don't
I
look at
thought
it.
he was as draft analysis and being on TV and stuff. He's pretty good at it. He should try keep on doing that. I
Yeah.
think he
So
interviewed
Maurice,
for Jacksonville and didn't get it, but
yeah. So Maurice asked, so and we went over this already, but we'll do a quick little run where he asked who was the biggest steal, free agents, draft or undrafted. Well, and I'll answer this right now. I think the biggest steal was Zadarius Smith. I think he was the, you know,
oh,
obviously free agent. That was just the
in the
biggest pickup.
contract we got him for,
Yeah, and like just the contract we got him for, you know,
it's so close.
him being a Packer. We played the
It's
Packers twice. He's gonna be trying to get revenge out there, man. I just think that was the best pickup, man. That was the biggest move so far this offseason, and probably is gonna be the biggest move.
it's almost like a 1 year contract, and if we want to keep him, we can.
And I mean,
Um,
you can argue, you can also argue that it wasn't just the biggest move, you know, for the Minnesota Vikings. It was one of the bigger moves in the
in the
whole
NFL,
in the NFL. You know what I mean? Of course, you got Russell Wilson and all this things
Aaron
that was
Rodgers is not
happening, but
happy about it. I'm sure.
yeah, Aaron Rodgers isn't happy about it. You know, this is the thing when Devontae Adams left, it was just like, you know what, and you know what's crazy about this, Dave? You know, they got the Packers offense ranked, like I think I read something on NFL.com. Some lady did an article about, you know, ranking the offenses. We're about ranked 10. If you haven't looked at it, Dave, I'll send it to you through a text and you can kind of go through and break it down maybe on the next video or so. But they
Yeah,
have the
sure.
Packers ranked, like, I think third best offense, you know, projected to be the third best offense going into the season. And I'm like, yo, like, how do you lose your main weapon and they still believe that this team is going to be, because they also lost Valdez Scantling, right? He
I think their
went,
number one receiver has 600 yards.
Yeah, like who's the number one? Who's gonna be the number?
Well,
Lazard. Yeah,
who
yeah.
knows? Maybe it's what's his name from
I know Odell. I
ASU.
know there was steam like Odell might come there. I thought Landry. I was like, boy, I hope Landry don't go there. But
Yeah.
he went to the Saints. I believe he's with the Saints now. Um, yeah. So I mean, so you're with me, right? You agree with me, right, Dave? I mean, I was the biggest
Oh
steal,
God,
probably
Zadarius
Smith.
Smith.
Yeah.
In the fact that he backed out of the contract with Seattle, right? It was Seattle, right? Is this
Yeah. No, Ravens.
Ravens. Sorry, Ravens. My bad.
Yeah.
He was drafted by the Ravens, right?
Right. Yep.
And he was going to go back to them,
Yeah.
and they didn't use him like they did. And it was a Petting. I can't say
No.
his name right, but he was the DC for the Packers, and he got the most out of him. He credits him with making him the player he was when he was getting 14, 13, 15 sacks or whatever for those previous 2 years, not last year because he was hurt, but previous 2 years where he became all pro, not all pro, but Pro Bowl. That he gives Mike Pettin a lot of that credit. And they fire Pettin, now he's with us, and he backs out with the Ravens and signs he's getting more money with us. He actually agreed to it with the tampering, the illegal tampering period. They had like those 2 or 3 days there. So he agreed verbally with them. And when it came down to it, he saw other players signing for more money. He backed out of it. And the fact that when we signed Mike Pettin, that made him come to us.
Yeah.
And so you got to give Kwesi a lot of credit for putting the coaching staff that we put together here.
Yeah, definitely.
And keeping our wide receiver coach.
Yup. So this is what we'll do, man. We've been on live. We're right at an hour, 55 minutes. So we're gonna probably close this out, man. How do you feel about the show tonight, Dave? Did you have fun? I know I had fun. You know what I mean? And we'll definitely figure out some more things.
I just hope they're not sick of me talking. I tend to take over.
Oh no! Hey, look, I think this is a perfect setup because you have a lot of knowledge. You know, you've been in this field a long time, and you're teaching me things at the same time as we're having this show. You know, the younger crowd's gonna come on here to watch me, just BS around and they're gonna come on here and they can learn things from you. And it's good. I think this is perfect setup with me and you. And I'm so glad we connected. I'm so glad we can do this show. I know we're saying that we're gonna do it on Sundays, but hey,
it can be any day. We just call it Skol Live.
Any day of the week.
We're gonna call it Skol Sunday, but we're like,
there you go. Hey,
Skol Live.
I'll text you. I mean, it can be as simple as, hey, I'll text you randomly. Hey, you want to go live tonight when I get? Hey, let's do it. So I mean, y'all just make sure y'all stay tuned. Y'all make sure y'all tuning in. Like I say, we're gonna do this a lot more when the season starts. Definitely, we'll do pregame, post-game reactions. Maybe we'll figure out how to get some callers in. Have you guys come in, call, and give y'all opinion and stuff like that. It's going to be fun, man. We're going to be about fan interaction.
Once we figure out what we're doing.
Yeah, once we figure out what we're doing. Hey, it looks pretty good right now. It seems like it looks good, man. Decent stream. Y'all got to remember, this is our first time doing this. People know I did live for the draft, but that was my first time, and people said it looked pretty good. But what we're using now seems a lot easier, a lot better, more user-friendly, and it looks good on the screen, man. We're making it happen for sure. We're making it happen. So we went over a lot of things tonight, man. Hey, we hope y'all enjoyed the show. Hey, Dave, tell them where to go to subscribe. The couple people that are in here right now, just in case they didn't hear it.
Minnesota Sports Talk.
Minnesota
I know
Sports
that's pretty
Talk.
lame. I'm thinking of changing to Skol World, but for now it's Minnesota Sports Talk. Because I do cover the Twins a little bit too.
Yeah, there you go. So hey, if you like baseball, go over there to his channel. Definitely Vikings. Definitely go to his channel.
I'm about 10-1 Viking videos over Twins videos. So
it definitely looks like just a Vikings page. So yeah, everybody vote. Everybody vote. Dave should go just make that page the Vikings page. He can change the name and then he can make a separate.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. For now, it's Minnesota Sports Talk.
All right, so Maurice said, Skol Bros. He said, thanks for answering my questions, even after you already talked about it. Hey, no problem, Maurice, man. We appreciate you tapping in.
Jalen Naylor.
Make sure you tap in.
Jalen Naylor is the steal of our draft. Go look him up.
Yeah, Jalen Naylor, and he has and Dave has a video on his channel if you really want to hear him
Today,
go.
I actually
Yeah,
I posted it today. Go
yeah.
look on Minnesota Sports Talk. Me talking about Jalen Naylor. I
It's
went a
in the
little
description.
overboard. I went a little overboard saying in a regular draft he'd be a late second round, but he definitely would have been a third round pick in another draft. So
Yeah.
Jalen Naylor, man.
Hey, hey, Dave, it was a pleasure doing the show with you tonight. We'll talk about when we're gonna get back on here. It's probably gonna be before Sunday because this was so much fun. I enjoyed it.
Why
You know what I
not?
mean? Hey, we'll communicate. I'm sure we'll be communicating throughout the week, and we'll figure out another day to
We'll
get on
get you
here.
to 1,000, and then you can get me to 1,000.
There
How
you
about
go.
that?
We'll make it happen, man. You got to help me on Twitter. I'm gonna help you on YouTube, and we'll make it happen. All right.
right.
Hey, good night, everybody. Appreciate you tapping in. Thanks.